I'm in my home county of Calhoun County, halfway between St. Matthews and Fort Mott, where my good friend Janet Whetstone lives, and she is a rose aficionado. We are just thrilled to be out here on this sandy soil where you've made it, just created this fabulous rose garden.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your coming to see. We've had an unusual year with the drought and the happenings with the weather, but we keep going on.
I love the story. You were no longer married, and Dick, your husband, who's a friend of mine, had lost his wife. And when y'all finally got together, you said that he said it made him sad to drive down the driveway. It's a long driveway, I will say. And so you said, I need to do something to make this a happier place.
Yep, I wanted him to come across that pond dam and see everything light and beautiful and a place where he'd want to be happy. And that's how I started, one shovelful at a time.
It was a pleasure to start planting roses down here because the soil was not like where you had been.
No, we are hard clay in the upstate. And when I got here, I stuck my shovel in the soil and found that it came back up, and I thought I'd hit gold. And then I started collecting every kind of compost and manure I could find. I have a manure field.
You really do, yeah.
And
at first you just did roses, I believe, kind of the typical way where you'd have to spray and do this and that. Tell me how that scenario went.
Well, a lot of people get so upset when they lose one rose. You know, I've lost 52 in a bed in this garden 3 times, and I just pull them up, throw them out, and try another kind. Roses are bred for disease resistance now. It's not like the old roses. We used to have peace and some of the old ones like noisettes. And these have disease resistance built in, and so most anybody can grow them and without spraying.
Whoa.
So we are a no-spray garden, and that has helped the balance of the beneficial insects which prey on the not-so-good ones. Mm-hmm. But once you start spraying and alternating chemicals, that balance is disturbed.
And I think the impetus for doing that was that Dick was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and stunningly has been, for 5 years he's survived. We are just thrilled. But you didn't want to be using all those chemicals around him.
Certainly did not. Yeah. And it was for the better, because I wanted these roses sprayed every 5 to 7 days.
And now it's just kind of nature.
That's right.
But you do keep them very, very healthy because, as you said, y'all have all this compost. Dick goes and gets horse compost, horse poop, cleaning out
rabbit.
Stuff. Yeah,
horse, rabbit. We go to the gin and we get the compost from the gin. Using everything locally has been a big help when you know how to manage what goes together. Chip drop is a wonderful thing the community offers. All you do is sign up and they'll bring you arborist material. And that's got all the microbes and things that you need that are active, rather than buying things in a bag. Mm-hmm. Everything's dead in that bag.
And Dick has all this equipment that he knows how to use,
yeah.
So he can literally compost. It's just fun to see those huge piles out there that he manages until they're completely composted, and then you can just top dress, I suppose.
I love a man with a backhoe. He can really work that. And he doesn't get mad at me when I dig up the well line or the electric line or anything else.
And you even use overhead irrigation, but time it so things have time to dry. And as you said, you have selected roses that have resistance to some of the things that used to make it such a nightmare to grow.
Yeah, I tell people, don't fall for a pretty face. You look that rose up and see if she's worth coming into your garden. You look up her ratings, her history, and everything about her. There's even a list of what people say about how she reacted in their gardens.
I know that pruning is important because even with these disease-resistant roses, you want good airflow, I believe. And so every spring, I think, is a big pruning for you, and then kind of along and along. How do you go about it?
It's ongoing all through the year. Once your roses, once you've cut those canes, your work just begins. And then as they grow, you want to prune them to get your best blooms. Because when you cut, that stimulates that cane.
Oh.
And rather than producing the seeds it would if you didn't pick it off, it will go therefore into another rose. So you don't lose, your blooms that way.
And interestingly, you said you try to pick things out that are more cold hardy than people might think we are here. And what's your reasoning about that?
Well, we have such fickle weather in South Carolina, and I choose a rose that will bloom and do well in like zone 6 through our zone in zone 8, because we have sudden drops in temperature and sometimes it lasts for days. And that's when there's a lot of rose loss.
I see. Okay.
So be careful who you choose to grace your garden. The pick is everything.
Let's talk about a few favorites that you have.
Oh, I'd say the queen of the garden is Miss Pinky. Miss Pinky is the showboat. She blooms first. She blooms one of the longest. And when I post her picture, everybody wants to come see Miss Pinky. And she came from Roses Unlimited. And then I love my Hurricane Katrina rose, which is Peggy Martin. And that's a beauty that has a long time of bloom too.
And what's the story behind that one?
Oh, Peggy Martin is named for Mrs. Peggy Martin, who had her in a garden in Louisiana.
Yes.
And with the Hurricane Katrina, this rose debris was dumped on her, and she was under salt water for 2 weeks.
No.
And lo and behold, when the waters receded, Miss Peggy Martin was blooming and well.
Whoa.
And so she is a phenomenon and has her own Facebook site with millions of viewers. And everybody's wanting to know how they can get a Peggy Martin, and she's so easy to root.
And she's kind of got a big, wonderful, vibrant growth
she'd
habit.
climb over the house if she could. You have to watch her. But I like the theme roses. I have a Cherokee rose. And that's the one my husband swears has a vendetta against him. She's got long hooked thorns, but she's beautiful when she blooms.
But she's always catching Dick's shirt or something. Yeah.
I love the history behind roses. The Cherokee rose is one that depicts the Trail of Tears from the Cherokee Indians. And this area is part of the Trail of Tears. So I had to have her in my garden for that reason.
Janet, I love this because this is something that you do for your own self-gratification. I think you do it because you love to share the beauty of these roses. And do they bring joy to people when you can't take them to them?
Oh, they love it. When they see me walking down their sidewalk and I'm carrying a big bouquet in front of my face, they get so excited and they think, for me. And it just brings joy to people. And that's what it's all about. That's what all the hard work is about.
And it can be for birthdays or sad times or just anything, I think.
Anybody that needs a smile.
Oh, that's just lovely. And, I've known Dick for a long, long time, and he has his own interest, although he helps you a lot. And I think he collects some kind of old cars or some fool thing.
He does. He let me know he was going to go visit a museum in North Carolina, and he came back with a big surprise.
Well, before I go, I want to go over and have Dick show me those cars.
Oh, I hope you will. I know he was glad to show them off.
And who is this?
This is Sweet Dobie.
Hey, Sweet Dobie.
He's a rescue and the love and joy of our hearts.
Oh, well, you've got a big heart yourself, and thanks for sharing all the things you've done with us again.
Privileged to share the love of roses with you, Amanda.
never know what you're going to see when you go to the country. And so here I'm talking to my friend Dick Whetstone after all the stuff he does with roses, and these cars are just amazing. I would think everybody on a farm would just have some old beat-up truck. That may be one of those.
We got some of those too.
But tell me about these cars. This is just delightful.
Well, this green one, when I met my first wife, who died 25 years ago, she had a red one that was a piece of junk. And it finally died. It left us somewhere, and we just left it there. And always wanted one. Well, they quit making these in about 1976.
Oh.
And we found this one in Myrtle Beach. This one is 52 years old right now. And it had 19,000 miles on it. And today it's got 31,000 miles, never been driven in the rain. And I kept it just because this was her car, and I wanted a convertible, and we kept it.
It's so much fun too. This is just a great, great, great car. And then after you survived the cancer, you went up to look at a car in North Carolina, and where did that end up?
It ended up right there, the red one. I went up to a museum of cars, of Corvettes in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I've been wanting one since I was about 12 years old.
Oh, this was the car everybody wanted back then.
And this one is 61 years old. And I said, well, after 5 years surviving advanced pancreatic cancer, when several hospitals told me to go home and get on hospice, I had 4 months to live. After I made 5 years and cancer-free, I bought my first Corvette, and this is a 1965.
Isn't that just the most happy thing in the world?
It is. When you get this old and what you've been through, health issues, you enjoy the life that you have left.
Well, I just think it's terrific, and that you're having so much fun with it. And during the Purple Martin parades, everybody in St. Matthews gets to enjoy it too.
They got to see it. My son and his fiancée was in the Corvette, and Janet and I were in this little green car. We were going behind them, picking up the parts that fell off.
Well, thanks, Dick. Everything out here is it's been a glorious day visiting.
It is. I've enjoyed so much having you and your crew. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm lucky.